do you know how much your company is worth today if you were to sell it? And if we run that up against your financial plan, whatever your specialty is as an advisor, you don't need to be a financial advisor, but taking the looking at the end goal, how much is it worth? If you sold it today, would that cover the gap between what you have and what you need?
So Aaron, what's the number one secret to helping business professionals help their clients build an exit plan?
I think that the secret is not really a secret, but I think the willingness or the confidence to be talking to every business owner that you come across of, do you know how much your company is worth today if you were to sell it? And if we run that up against your financial plan, whatever your specialty is as an advisor, you don't need to be a financial advisor, but taking the looking at the end goal, how much is it worth? If you sold it today, would that cover the gap between what you have and what you need? And that's really I don't know, it's an underserved question, or it's an underserved market. There's not a lot of business owners that understand their value precisely and have had somebody run it up against their lump sum financial plan. And it's not rocket science. I think it's just a willingness to look at these engagements from the top down. Not just to provide a financial plan or an insurance policy, but to take that step back and look at the big picture.
Got it. So the willingness and confidence that it can give somebody to, I guess, start with the end in mind, you might think about, understand the key facts, and how that pertains to the vision and the wealth plan for the person who's exiting. Really, it's a gap analysis, if I'm hearing you correctly, right? It's a gap between where they want to be, where they're at, and boom, wow, there's a big exit that's happening here soon. And, what's the plan for that, and how do we help you get there? Is that a fair summary so far, Aaron?
It is.
Excellent. Aaron, what's the number two secret to helping your clients build an exit plan?
Once that subject is broached, really to have a process, to have the means to walk them down the road. And when I talk about walking down the road, if they do have a significant gap or even a small gap, how do we build that business value? How do we protect the asset in the long term, even, tapping into your skills? But what needs to be done to build it and get them where they need to be emotionally and financially, that they're able to take more steps and start to plan for a company that runs on its own. A business owner doesn't always have to exit in order to create more transferable value, and enabling a management team to run it, letting people make decisions, and really doing some of the things that create an enterprise as opposed to maybe a lifestyle business.
So it sounds like exploring options too is a part of this, right? It doesn't necessarily mean exit by selling. It can just mean exit by transferring, like you said, to other leaders within the organization, and having that process to walk them down, or a system through that process and that journey and those options, so that they're emotionally and financially, prepared for that. Is that a fair summary, Aaron?
It is. Yeah. And one of the things that we talk about in this process is also not only just building and protecting value, but what are the business continuity aspects that need to be dealt with? Number one, to really look at how we can build more transferable value. Buyers want to see something that runs on its own. If the owner steps away and takes everything with it, it's not much of a business. But in this, also to mitigate death or disability before a transfer happens, there's a lot of just low-hanging fruit in the planning world that often isn't considered. We're working with the quarterbacks that are taking the 20,000-foot view to help sort these ideas out and coordinate a team then that is going to be able to build value, create continuity, and move this down the road towards an eventual transaction.
Excellent. Yeah. And so I think being a good steward with what they've built and helping them to be a great steward with what they built by taking a bigger view, and also being prepared for death and disability and having contingency plans in place.